Cougar Sports Saturday.
It's complete. Another touchdown!
Cougar Sports Saturday. A presentation of KSL Sports.
Left wing for three. He got it again!
BYU Sports Talk by Cougar fans for Cougar fans. Here are your hosts, Mitch Harper and Matt Baiamonte. On Utah's legacy home of the Cougars. KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
One of my favorite parts of the offseason growing up was the release of the college football video game, and we're back on that cycle. Last year, it was just all the nostalgia of, oh, the college football game is back. And no one really cared about the quality of the game, even though it was a solid output. It was a really good game. But now we're back to that annual cycle of EA Sports. It's in the game. Like that every single year, and it's college football. I'm so hyped. College Football 26 is coming out July 7th for early access, July 10th for the official date, which is a real bummer for first world problems like that I'm thinking of myself, Matt, because it coincides with Big 12 Media Day. Really? Come on.
I'm thinking about telling my wife I'm going to Big 12 Media Day this year and then just going somewhere else and playing the game for 24
Just come. Just come. I got a hotel at the Omni in Frisco. Just hop on, and then you can just stay at the hotel, hold it down, and then when I'm done in the Star, like, of course, come to the Star if you want to. Like, let's get some BYU player content, but then we'll just game it up in the hotel room and just play College Football 26.
Gosh, that sounds amazing.
I'll bring the console too. We can do dual console like battles online, like it's the old Halo days growing up as kids. Let's go.
That's amazing. That sounds fantastic. Speaking of the game, Mitch. So and you can you can watch this on YouTube right now. The EA College Football 26 deep dive.
Oh yeah.
Narrated by Kirk Herbstreit. Showing all the new features, all the new games. You know, there's these substitution packages. There's better stadium environments. There's more realistic defensive hits and better. Look, this is all nerdy stuff for game people. But halfway through the deep dive, I took a pause and I'm like, "Whoa, hold up a minute! It's BYU and Utah. Did you see this?"
I didn't.
It's BYU and Utah. Oh, so I'm putting this on you. You'll have to watch this after the show. BYU Utah, fourth quarter. Jake Retzoff is playing in this game. It's 24-0 Utah. I'm like, oh my! Can I imagine a worse scenario? Well, can you dream up a worse scenario than that game being 24-0 Utes late in the fourth?
Would not be good. That would not be good at all. I'll have to go back and check that. Somehow I missed that. I don't know how.
They were showing how you could quickly substitute players without having to go to the menu. Mm-hmm. And so they were A-Rod, I guess, was trying to get Pocahontas in the game. And I looked down at the score. I'm like, oh my, what happened in this simulation?
Oh, it's a classic BYU Utah game where BYU stumbles out of the gates. And it's just like a slow start, and then they pull off a miracle at the end against the Utes. No, that's funny. But it is did you like College Football 25? Like after a full year of the game?
I loved that game. Loved it. Did you?
I did.
Spectacular, wasn't it?
It was awesome. If out of a 10, I would give it a strong 8. The only knocks I had, and we'll find out more next week with the Dynasty deep dive and all this stuff. I just think I wish there was a little bit more immersive with the Dynasty. I think anyone that plays the game, they love the Dynasty portion because you just want everything that comes with it. You know, you feel like you're in your own little college football world playing that. Even in the months of April, you can get a college football fix by playing that game. And I think that's what's really interesting to me about the college football video game series. Last week, I was watching a Sony entertainment video. They were talking about, it was kind of like this business side of it, of the PlayStation industry and their future and their goals, kind of like a presentation to investors. And they showed a graphic that showed that there's about 10 or so video game titles that make up nearly half of the sales of video games these days. And it was Fortnite, it was Roblox. It was these games that are just kind of like financially draining, microtransaction games, NBA 2K, MLB The Show. And another one of the games was college football, not Madden, which was crazy. It was college football. You have to go check this out. I'll have to send it to you. But the college football video game, we talked about this last year, but it has such a big pull because college, unlike the NFL, has such a there's something about it where you just don't, I don't know what, it's the pageantry, it's the nostalgia. The NFL is different because so much moving pieces, and look, college football is getting more that way with professionalism. Like, I'm not trying to be naive. It's becoming more professional by the day. But the college football video game series was always that game that felt more cutting edge. You just got a chance to really highlight your school, your team, and it was just always a fun game. Whereas Madden was more like, it was always a good game, but it was just never as good as college football. So I found that really interesting how big of a deal college football became, and it gives me hope that the series continues to take off to greater heights. Hopefully the players get even bigger paychecks. They're going to get more money this year for those that opt in. Last year it was $600. I think this year reportedly it's about $1,500, I believe. So hopefully to continue this to grow, have it to continue to grow. And that's good for people like us who cover college football because this sport is growing in popularity more than ever before. I hope leaders of the sport don't take that for granted because it has a strong following. College football does. People care about it a ton. And that's evidence with this football game every single year.
Good stuff, Mitch. Hey, let's take a break. Final break of the show. On the other side, let's get to the leaks.
Yes.
We didn't get to them in this segment. We're talking about ratings leaks. If you're nerds like us, we know who the top BYU rated player is according to EA College Football 26. Top player in the state. Where does Jake Retzlaff fit in? We'll give you some thoughts on these leaked college football ratings coming up next.
Well done, producer Nate Slack. It's taking me back to it's taking my millennial brain back to like summer of 04. Baby bash bump coming in. Love that. Good stuff, Nate Slack. Thank you for that. Mitch Harper, Matt Baiamonte.
Before Mitch, I would be highly anticipating the release of a college football game.
That's right. Highly anticipating that. Mitch Harper, Matt Baiamonte with you, and we are counting down to College Football 26 coming out, and we don't know the validity of this. And look, let me just preface this. Okay. Anything else on this show, we verify, and we don't speak of it until it's verified. We discuss it, okay? But a video game, we can have a little bit of fun. This website apparently leaked the College Football 26 ratings. Is that what I'm gathering correct, Matt?
That's correct. A leaker has leaked every team, and I do have to tell you, and I feel qualified to say this, and I think you can back me up here. I played last year's game pretty heavily for a mid-30s man with kids.
Yes.
Look, could I grind it out like I was in my teenage years? Of course not. But considering my age and all that is going on in my life, the fact that I even found time to play the game speaks volumes to my priorities, and this is a high priority. These ratings look very real, like very on par with what they would have been towards the end of last year's game, right?
Yes, they do.
And we're talking speed, strength, agility, acceleration, injury, stamina, awareness. Like, you don't just make these things up, in my opinion. Someone could, but like these feel real.
You have to be a diabolical nut job to go through this time to make all this up. And look, it may be
not just one team. You can look up everyone.
All 136 teams are on this
Arch Manning,
site.
92 overall.
I think that's
Jeremiah
fair.
Smith, Ohio State. Any guesses on him?
94.
98.
Oh, wow. Dang. That's crazy. 98, huh?
98.
Wow. BYU does
Top-rated
not have a
player.
98, I would assume.
No, they have one guy in the 90s, and you can probably guess at home who that is. And I think it is well-deserved. He's the top-rated player on the team in the game. It's Chase Roberts.
Yeah, no doubt. And
Would
Chase,
would you agree he deserves top billing?
yes, I think the only one that I would make an argument to say could be higher than him, but he's not glamorous as far as a position, would be Isaiah Glasker. Like, I think Isaiah Glasker should be...
He's not even the top-rated linebacker.
Interesting. What's Glasker at?
He's 88 overall, but Jack Kelly has him beat.
Okay, and I'm fine with that. Kelly at 89 and Glasker at 88. That's a great tandem, though, at linebacker.
That is a dynamic tandem at linebacker. That's really impressive stuff. Your top 5 is this, Mitch. I'll give it to you. Chase Roberts, number 1 overall. He's 90 in the game. Jack Kelly, 89. L.J. Martin, 89. That was a bit of a surprise to me. Third highest rated player is L.J. Martin.
Love it.
Number 4, Isaiah Glasker, who you just mentioned. Number 5, a bit of a surprise for me, Jake Retzloff, your quarterback, which normally you would celebrate that type of ranking. And I think we can celebrate it anyways. 88's a great number, but sometimes when you look at this and kind of project to how the season's going to pan out, we just don't know if Jake's going to be there. But hey, if he lives up to 88 overall ranking this season, that's impressive.
Oh, yeah. And look, Retzloff in the game last year, it was fun. He started in the 70s, I believe, and then he got a big bump when BYU started out 8-0, 9-0. They had a ratings bump after that UCF game. So they were 8-0, and he jumped into the 80s, and BYU was a much more enjoyable experience going online mode with BYU when Jake was at a higher clip, because initially Gary Bohannon last year was probably the better quarterback on the game. It was tougher to play with Jake, but as a guy that wants to have a simulation of alternate universe, you want to simulate what real life is like. Of course, I'm going to roll with Jake Retzloff last year because he got the starting nod, and it was a tough grind to go on Dynasty with him. But then when he got the uptick from the developers, it was a little bit more enjoyable. But yeah, it's a good top end of the roster for BYU. I was going to add with Chase Roberts too. You remember last year before the game came out, months prior, when guys were signing the deals, he was the one BYU player that got I can't remember what the term was, but a side deal that was greater than the $600 that other players got. So he kind of got priority. So maybe that played a role into the rating, maybe to amplify the guys that get bigger deals, but the production's there. He's the leading receiver the past 2 years for BYU. Chase Roberts is one of, if not the face of BYU football heading into 2025. Like, I would argue, too, with Chase, I'm not saying he's the best football player on the team, but I feel very confident every BYU football fan knows the name Chase Roberts. You would think they'd also know Jack Kelly and Isaiah Glasker too, but sometimes there's fans that don't always know every single player. I'm willing to give them some grace. They know Chase Roberts, and I just feel very confident about that because that guy is BYU to a T.
Can I throw a couple random rankings at you?
Yeah, let's
let me
go.
Get your thoughts.
Let's go.
Third highest ranked player on his team, Harrison Taggart, 85 overall for the Bears.
Oh, wow.
Think about what could have been in the game with Glasker, Taggart, and very interesting.
What's Cialia Serra? Let me look that up.
Oh, man. Yeah, look that up.
Cialia Serra, he's got a 78. So they've got him 7 points less than Taggart.
I think it's worth noting, too, these ratings will change throughout the year. That's what I do love about the game is that once real football is being played, it kind of reflects in the future rankings. So that's fantastic. Here's another interesting one. Keelan Marion, what would you put on Keelan with the Hurricanes?
I bet he's going to get a splashy rating because of his ability to return kicks, and he just seems like a glamorous type acquisition for Miami. I'm going to say 91.
Way too high, Mitch.
Okay.
Flat 80. Flat 80 for
wow.
Keelan.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
And then lastly, for good measure, to put a bow on the show, let's bring it full circle here. Walker Lyons, the older brother of Ryder Lyons. What is his ranking?
Let's go 68.
It's better than that, 75. But if he wants to change teams, maybe we can get him a better ranking. Or if his brother just wants to commit, we can boost him up.
That's right. It's Ryder Lyons Watch throughout the weekend. We'll have you covered on KSLSports.com. And then, of course, Monday we'll have a recap from the Golf Media Day at Cedar Hill. So it's going to be a busy, busy weekend. And then Tuesday, we'll have the coverage of Ryder Lyons' commitment announcement. So we will have you covered on all things recruiting and BYU football and basketball, as we always do. We'll be back at it next Saturday here on Cougar Sports Saturday. It's powered by KSL Sports.